What is good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It's time for transfer talk, and we're going to do it live today, man. I want to get some people's opinions on a few of the things discussed in this one. And obviously, if you're not watching live, watching the replay, get your comments in the comment section below as well. But listen, great day. It's a good day. I know there's a lot of pessimism out there and everything else like that, but yeah, we'll get into our stance, what we feel as we sit here on the 15th of July and just see how we're all feeling in regards to the transfer window. We've got a few days until the Man United friendly. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to go on with that. I spoke yesterday about if Harrison gets on the plane or not. Do we freeze him out? Do we take him for shop window purposes? If you haven't checked that video out, I'll link it in one of the top two corners. But yeah, we've got a few links to discuss, some good and some absolutely awful. But I can only give you the links. I don't create them. What's going on, man? What's going on, people? Annabelle, he's saying, hi, KG, we did a lot of late deals last summer, so I'm trying to chill with that in mind, but it's hard. Yeah. Listen, I want to make my stance clear as we get in it early. I'm relaxed too. I'm annoyed that we haven't done the business I would have hoped we would have been back in the Premier League, because I did think that with us being promoted so early on and having the backing that we do in terms of the 49ers and Red Bull and everything else, I thought we would have got in a few marquee signings before we got like the squad members in. We've got like 2 starters in, and one you could argue needs genuine competition at left back in Goodmanson. But there is a lot of time. Some of the best deals will probably be done later in the window. So I'm very relaxed on that. But just hopefully we don't get left with the scraps. And one of the names we're going to mention in here could be one of the scraps. So yeah, Robson here saying subscribe and smash a like. Yeah, please like the video, man. It really is free to do and it helps out the channel immensely. Luke T saying here, the summer transfer window. I love this game. Yeah, it's frustrating, but trust me, I much prefer this kind of transfer window than doing the championship one. It's not even close either. Even though we're one of the top dogs in the championship, and by all accounts, it would be easier for us to get players in that way. I much prefer Premier League talks. At least you can be involved in conversations that you will never even get into the door when you're in the championship. So, you know, it's a waiting game, but hopefully it's worth the wait. Listen, again, I've been honest with that as well about being patient. Of course, we can only judge it come the end of the window. But at this stage, if we're being real with the way the squad is, we are still currently a bottom 3 team on paper. So that does have to improve in terms of the quality. And how we can do that, people. And as Chris says here, this keeper list is the longest shortlist ever. Exactly. And Hairu here, I'm actually surprised Lammens is still available. Thought another club would have already signed him. Need to move quickly. Precisely. Senne Lammens, and this one came out this morning, so this is very, very fresh. Leeds United, Sunderland, Manchester United interested in the 23-year-old goalkeeper, and he is available for 20 million euros, which is an amazing price for this goalkeeper. And he is on the market, and there's even further detail to this. Let me just get this up. I'll translate the post. I can't read that. Okay. Royal Antwerp sporting director Mark Overmars, it said the Singe transfer must happen this summer because we have signed his replacement. He is a player that's attracting the most interest, and there are clubs ready to sign him. Sunderland, Man United, and Leeds are interested in him, and the club wants 20 million euros. This is a layup for me in terms of a goalkeeper if you're looking to get one and improve. Now, I've said, and again, we're going to have a lot of exception to the rule thing in this video, so bear with me. But 23 years old, I did say that I want an experienced goalkeeper in there, which is why I've mentioned like Levakovic. Would have loved Milinkovic-Savic if he would have come. Nick Pope as well. I would love an experienced head, but there are exceptions to the rules. And much like with Newcastle getting in James Trafford ahead of a Champions League campaign because they can see that he is the outlier, I see this guy as the same way. He's just brilliant in all aspects, whether it be shot stopping, distribution. He's the complete package. So I would sleep very well at night if Leeds United bought him in as the #1 goalkeeper, because he is ready for that next level. So again, there's difference in terms of where a goalkeeper is, and his development. For me, he's going to be a full Belgium international very, very soon, you know, especially once Courtois cuts down his time or retires from international football. So it's a case for me. I won't forget the poll at the end. It's a case for me where if Leeds United can get in this one and they feel like 20 million is acceptable, because that seems to be like the ballpark we're playing with the goalkeepers we've been linked with, and we'll talk about leaks towards the end of the video because we're going to speak about that as well. But this for me, again, it's a no-brainer. You're talking about an upcoming goalkeeper that you're going to get for 20 million, and if all goes well, you're going to be selling for probably treble that in the future. So It's us, Sunderland, Man United at this point in time. But the most important thing about this is that Mark Overmars has literally come out and said this is the easiest deal you can do. There's going to hardly be any negotiating unless we do the whole, we're going to bid 13 million instead. But he's laid it out on the line. This goalkeeper has to move. So there's no toing and froing with this one. It's a case of if you can get the deal done, get it done. So it's one of those for me, Leeds United. If you really are interested, get this deal done. This is another goalkeeper I'd have no issues with. And again, we're talking about goalkeepers. And we'll get into Graham Smith's article later on. But one thing he was talking about was the need of a goalkeeper maybe coming later. I do disagree with that. I disagree with it just off the premise of you as the defense needs to know the goalkeeper's traits, and you can only know that through training. Obviously, you're going to know through gameplay as well, actual match days, but you can know through training. When the ball's around here, is this goalkeeper going to clear me out? Is this goalkeeper going to come and collect here? What's he looking for with his first movement when he's looking to distribute the ball out? I do think it's important to get a goalkeeper in as soon as you can, so you get to know the goalkeeper's traits. That's just me, though. Michael here saying goalkeeper, this is a position they should have addressed in the last 3 to 4 windows. I've no confidence they'll do it now. Well, Michael, if we don't do a goalkeeper this window, we're definitely going down. We can't go in with the weaknesses that we currently have and expect to survive. If we do, it would be probably the greatest survival in Premier League history. With everything that we've got currently right now, it would be the greatest survival job ever. So I think they will get it done, but it just seems like they're not in a rush to do so. But again, if he was to leave now in the next week or so because we haven't moved, that's where I get not annoyed, but that's where I get disappointed that we haven't been aggressive enough in the market when there's been really good players available for very reasonable prices as well. Eloquentry here saying, for me, goalkeeper was the absolute priority from the start. Yeah, I mean, my very first transfer talk video, I was very clear that we have to get a goalkeeper. I mean, I've done about why Mellier's got to leave about 10 times on this channel. It feels like I've been doing it for years. But it's one of the most important places on the pitch, especially in the Premier League when you're going to be down there. And this goalkeeper as well, people, I don't have the stats to hand, but he made something like over 175 saves, and he's got one of the best, goal above average percent ratio, gimmick Schneebitz things, all those numbers that people like. So he's very tried and tested when it comes to saving a hell of a lot of shots, which we may be doing this season. So yeah, he is somebody that I would definitely go for. And listen, don't let Man United, don't let Sunderland replace their goalkeeper with him. Let's get in on this one, man. Let's get this deal done if it is possible. Where shall I go next? There's a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff. Let's go for another one that I'd like. Christantus Uche, who we spoke about, must be over a month ago now in terms of him possibly leaving. There was a report that he'd been held out of training, but it has been confirmed that he has gone back to training with Malaga and won't be forcing a move. So the likelihood is that he could be leaving for the Premier League. Wolves have got an interest, and I think Brentford as well, and it is us as well. Those are the 3 teams that are linked from the Premier League, but he's not going to force a move. And it's one of those where we kind of need a couple of these players to force a move. And it's one of those things where, as football fans, we don't like it when it happens to our club, but we need other players to do it to other clubs in order for them to come here. It's one of those things, but it does seem that he's very relaxed and very happy to be at Malaga, and there's no rush for him to leave. So that's the latest update with Uche. Again, I would like him to come in that 10 spot. I would much prefer to have him and Harmer as the rotation options in that 8 to 10 spot. That would be perfect for me, but I don't see Aronson leaving. But yeah, another player. I mean, like I've said on the video a time ago, he's got a lot of raw talent. There's a lot to work with here. There's a lot of things to refine, but he's going to have a real good career, and you can be a part of that at this stage of his career. And again, you could be possibly doubling your money if everything goes right. Or he could stay as we climb up to the European places. Who knows, right? Who knows? But yeah, Uche, we'll keep an eye on that one. But much along the similar vein, and this isn't, I'm only going to mention Sean Longstaff here. Just purely on the basis that it is rumored that we are going to put in another bid, although, we thought that this one would be closed off. And, when the third bid got rejected, it seems that we're possibly going back in for him. I don't really want that. But the thing with me with this one is that the saga that's all around it, it's more the optics of it for me. And we're going to speak about optics later. But Sean Longstaff is literally wanted by one club, and that's us. One club for a fifth, sixth choice midfielder at Newcastle. And even on that point, Eddie Howe isn't sure about letting him go. And much like Uche, Longstaff isn't going to force a move out either. I think he would actually prefer to stay at Newcastle, even though there's a logjam of midfielders in front of him. And that, again, usually when this happens, people are like, move on from him. You know, if he doesn't want to come here, I always get this in my comments. If they don't want to play for Leeds United, I don't want him. But it seems to be different for Sean Longstaff. A couple of you keep saying we need to go up for 15 million for him, 17 million. Oh, but the point I'm trying to make here is that it seems that this move will be very much, if we do go up to the money Newcastle want, Longstaff will be coming here and he will give it his all. I've got no doubt about that. I'm not doubting his professionalism. That's probably the main attribute he's got. But I'm saying it seems like it's a very, if I come to Leeds, I come to Leeds. But if I'm fifth choice at Newcastle, I'm happy with that too. There just doesn't seem to be much urgency with this one. And that's all I wanted to say in regards to this, in terms of the Longstaff and where that's at. All right, let's go to another one. Okay, because nothing's talking about Longstaff in the comments. So I'm going to move on to this one. I'm going to make this very brief. Sky Sports linking Tom Fellows, West Bromwich Albion right winger, to Leeds United and Everton. This is a straight up no for me. This is a signing that I would have expected Ipswich to make last season. This does absolutely nothing for us in our current state. If we were a more established Premier League team with a host of players in front of this guy, and we were more established and could have the room to get a Tom Fellows, see how he develops. If it works, great. If not, sell him on. We're not in that position, people. So Tom Fellows, for me, absolutely not. He would literally be the competition for Dan James, and for me, that's no competition. So we'll move on with Tom Fellows, yeah, and hopefully Everton get that one. I'm just no, all right, just no. What are we saying here? What's next? I got to close some of these tabs. While I'm closing some tabs, people, please, if you haven't already, like the video. Let me get some of these off. All right, let's go to another one that is just, God, oh God, it's just not good. It's not good at all. It's not good at all. RMC, I think they're out in France. GFFN have summed this one up here. Leeds United and an unnamed League Earn club are interested in Yusuf Yazıcı, 28 years old, from Olympiacos. My God. I'm just going to say this, and again, I'm going to probably counterpoint this one in just a moment, but there is a bit of a difference. We don't need this. The guy played one game, and it wasn't even a full game last season. He played 20 minutes of a game before going out with a cruciate ligament injury. So straight off the bat, no. And I can already hear it now. Solomon was, Solomon is an exception to the rule. What is this I can fix you nonsense? What is it with the? Why do they always have to have an injury history? Again, I'm going to contradict myself in a moment, but stay with me. He's literally just coming off a real bad injury. This is not what we need here, people. So the player, I mean, he was fine before and everything else like that, but I'm talking he's fresh after injury. Yeah, we'll fix you, man. I can fix you, FC. It's insane for me. It's insane for me. In regards to Fellows, Michael here saying if they see something in him, buy and unloan him out immediately. That should take an hour and a half. That should take an hour and a half. We concentrate on our main targets. Listen, that whole buying and loan him out thing, I'd agree with, but only if in our second, third year of the Premier League. We haven't got the scope to do that right now. We're making signings. We've made a lot of signings for the under-21s and everything else like that. This one for me is if you're a more established Premier League team and you could do that, Michael. We can't afford to do that. I think it's been very evident as well from the way we're moving that every penny is having to be counted in terms of the first team. So we're not in a position to do that, but I do understand the point. Man said, bring back Rads and Water. Oh, my Lord. Are we a hospital or football club? It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, so we'll move on from this one. I just know. What I will say, though, and we'll listen, just hear me out a little bit on this one, because even I'm kind of convincing myself here. So I'm going to be talking us through this one together. We're not linked to Embolo. We're not linked with him. But Fabrizio put this out today, and that Monaco are open to selling Breel Embolo this summer after a pact made 1 year ago. Understand Besiktas almost got a deal done earlier this window for 15 million euros, but the player rejected. Monaco insist on a 15 million euro fee. AC Milan are also aware. Now, again, we're talking checkered injury past, then, you know, he's up there. You know, he's really up there. But by all accounts, he stayed fit all last season, which is the big difference between him and the last player. He's had a host of injury problems. But I'm thinking this, and this is where I am, Chris. Where we are right now and where I expected us to be in terms of signings, we're not anywhere near there right now. If you were to get in a 15 million Embolo, which is what, around 12 point something million, 30 million at best, that is a very, very low risk signing for a player that could potentially give you that goal that keeps you up. And he's a complete opposite to João Peru, in where he is just a direct threat with his pace. And, you know, his eye for goal, he's not a clinical finisher, which does put me off him a bit. But in terms of what he'd give you and bring in the other players that we've got in the team, I think it could work. I think it could work. I know, yeah, he's a football manager, you know, FIFA legend. I know that. He's 28 now, though. Crazy how time moves on. The guy's 28 years old. But let's see what we're saying. Let's see what we're saying in the comments. Marco's saying here, now we're talking, KJ. I've been saying we're going for 3 seasons. Can we show in 10? Okay, and that's it. Everyone else just complaining that we're skint. Okay, cool. But yeah, he gives us something else, just different to what we've got. And man, listen, you can't guarantee fitness for everybody, but he's done well to stay fit for at least a season, from what we know. If he can stay fit for 25 games, I think you get a decent return from him. I'm not just talking goal output. I'm talking about overall performances where he will be such a threat that maybe he wins that penalty in the dying minutes of a game and things like that. Now, his willingness, I don't know if he'd be willing to come. I don't know why he's rejected Besiktas. I don't know whether that's contractually placed in the team. Don't know why he's rejected that. Is he more likely to come to a Leeds United? Judging what we've seen so far in the summer, no. But it wouldn't hurt to ask, would it? 15 million is not that much of an outlay for a play like this. Stashy, he's saying rather have Sargent. Well, I'm glad you brought him up, because it looks like he's going to Wolfsburg, which is great. And it's between Wolfsburg and Burnley. So I was waiting to unleash this, but Stashy, as you've jumped ahead, I'll give you this now. Sargent is going to Wolfsburg. And hey, listen, if Daniel Farke is still manager next season and he has an injury or two, we'll probably sign him from Wolfsburg next summer. But yeah, so I pat myself. So if I find it funny, that's great. Yeah. Bobby here saying it. We're going back to Breel here. We're going back to Breel. I like him as a player, but he's basically injured every season. By last season, no, Bobby. By last season, could he be turning over a new leaf? Possibly not. Possibly not. But I would just put it out there, man. 15 million is not a lot. And especially what seems to be a predicament where we are counting every penny, every euro at this stage. I wouldn't be against it. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we get to preseason or the third game of the year and he's out for 4 weeks with a calf injury. I wouldn't be surprised. And I know what I'm getting with Breel Embolo at this stage of his career. Yeah, good news about Sargent. Yeah. Deshaun, I hear it. Yep, I hear it too. Yeah. So there's Breel Embolo. So let's move on. Got Tom Fellows. Where shall we go next? I've got so many tabs up, people. So many tabs. Talked about him. Right. Okay. Dan James signs a new contract, and boy, don't we know about it. There was like 7 or 10 posts about Dan James just yesterday in terms of his new contract. But the thing was, we knew about this weeks ago, didn't we? We knew about this. I think Mike McGrath put it out maybe 3 weeks ago that Dan James already signed. Don't know what the delay was with him formally, officially announcing it from Leeds United side. But this is where we go into the Graham Smith article. And I'm not going to go into the deep weeds of the article. A lot of it was very basic, common, stuff. Oh, Chris, Douglas Luiz, he wasn't interested in coming to Leeds. That was the report. So there's been no point talking about Douglas Luiz. He did not fancy a move to Leeds United. So there we go. In regards to this article and you know, Dan James, good on you. By the way, I've already mentioned the stuff with Dan James, so this is just treading old ground. It's good that he's got a new contract because he's got name value. So even if he doesn't perform at Premier League level, which I do think he'll have a better time this time around, he'll always have name value where you can sell him on and not be lumbered with him, because there's still clubs out there that Dan James has still got, you know, good value around in the football world. So yeah, I'm glad that he's got the 4-year contract. Good on the club to protect themselves in that way, not losing him for free next summer, especially with all that outlay we put on him a couple of years ago. But he does now have to prove it at Premier League level. 2 championship seasons is cool, but now we need to see it in the Premier League, Dan James, and he's going to be given that opportunity. Yeah, could never be that, Lewis. And that's what people were saying, wasn't it, about the whole Dan James prop yesterday? So many posts. It was like they were promoting a new signing. And yeah, that doesn't work with me. I know it works for some people. It doesn't work with me. That's basically our player. But now we've, you know, tied him down to a new deal, which is good. And Chris, yeah, James is not the answer. He should be one of those push to the bench as rotational better signings. And I agree with that, Chris. I think he should have direct competition for that right-hand side, which is why I dismissed that Tom Fellows one. He's not direct competition for Dan James, not in this lifetime anyway. Maybe in a couple of years he will be, but where we are right now, people, we don't have a couple of years. We need players to make an impact tomorrow. Now, this goes on to the signing portion of this Graham Smith article. And it's about the 49ers being frustrated with leaks and fans talking about prospective signings and everything else like that. I have my own thing with this, where the 49ers, for me, are not being realistic with where they are. First of all, you're managing, you're owning Leeds United Football Club, which even when we're in the championship, these things get out. You know, I speak to agents, as you guys know. I get lists of players who Leeds United are looking for. I literally showed you that we were going for a left winger with a 50,000 a week budget. I showed you that once we signed Manor Solomon. That was from an agent that had the list of what Leeds United were looking for. The leaks that the 49ers are talking about, they shouldn't be annoyed with the fans. They shouldn't be annoyed with the local journals, even like Graham Smith. They should be annoyed with the people they're doing business with in the room. Because again, this is something that you can't dispute this. This isn't opinion. This is a fact. Players and agents leak stuff to Fabrizio. I'm telling you that as a fact. When players that I know have moved and have had the here we go, and I message them and we have conversations, they keep they keep Fabrizio, they keep Ornstein, all these top level guys, they keep in the loop. And it's up to the 49ers to try and at least get the agents to say, please, can we keep this in-house because we don't want this getting out? That's the only way that can happen. That's the only way it can happen. Give you another example. If we're offering Bamford to Hensford Town, yeah, it's not going to be Graham Smith that's going to get this news. It's going to be on the Hensford side. The Hensford press secretary going, oh, wow, we've been offered Patrick Bamford. I'm going to call our local press, and it will go around the Hensford Town press that we've offered them Patrick Bamford. We're giving them the opportunity to sign him. It doesn't get leaked from the 49ers side, but they have to live with that. I think they were being very naive in terms of that kind of thing getting out, especially being Leeds United, where the news will get magnified. You've seen all the links we've had this summer. Put our name to a link, it goes a little further. We're one of those clubs, not on the scale of Arsenal, Man United in that way, but we get traction, don't we? You see it in terms of the posts being made. And look, 49ers with this, let me just give you a late example of what we've had. Fabrizio here, June 16th, exclusive, Leeds United agreed deal to sign Jakob Biol. The medical is soon. And that was June 16th. He then updates it on June 21st. Oh, no, there was another one. June 18th. All documents are ready for Jakob Biol to sign in as new Leeds United player from Udinese for 22 million package. And then obviously on June 21st, he signed the contract, new Leeds United player. And that's a couple days before the club officially announced it. So who's keeping Fab up to date in this incident? It's not me. It's not you. It's not the local press. It will be Jakob Biol's people telling Fabrizio exactly where the deal's at. So when 49ers are getting frustrated, the frustration or wherever it's being laid is in the wrong place. It's who they're doing business with, people. So my thing is they need to stop moving on with going along with that and getting annoyed with that kind of stuff, because it also makes them look small time as well, in the way that, oh, if Leeds United are the only people in it, we can get the deal done. But once other clubs get involved in the conversation, we're going to get frozen out. That says something about the recruitment team, in my opinion. It doesn't say anything about the other clubs coming in. You should be able to be off interest from other clubs and sign a player. It shouldn't just be that you got a free run at a player. The football world doesn't work like that. God help us for that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they've been here for years. They should know that stuff gets out. Agent and players always look for the best deals for themselves. And yeah, and even in some instances with agents, I've told you guys this story before, but an agent, a friend of mine, tried to give me a name, and I knew from the get go it was dodgy. And I reached out back to him. I said, "Hey, this name, it doesn't look very much aligned to what we're doing right now." And he apologized. He said, "Look, man, I'm just trying to get my client's name out there." I said, "That's cool, but don't do that to me. Just give me straight up names that Leeds United have been linked with. Don't give me any BS with that kind of stuff. It happens all the time. Seriously." Who will call you that, man? Do you think there's a bit of naivety with the 49ers? This is not the championship with Leeds. Yeah, oh my God, where Leeds are very attractive for players. Yeah, we've already said, look, what Leeds United have done in the championship in terms of recruitment has been A+. It's been brilliant. The signings we've made, even the ones that haven't worked out, and I look at people like, who's the right back for Burnley, man? I've forgotten his name already. Give me the right back in the comment. As soon as I see it, I'm gonna go, oh yeah, him. Even Jed Spence, even why can I not remember his name? Nah, not Schmidt. Not Schmidt, the one for Burnley. Connor Roberts, yes, him. Even those ones are really good deals that 49ers made for this level. The only one that I didn't think was very good though was the whole Jaden Anthony one, and I said that from the get-go quite simply because who he had at the time, he was literally the 5th choice. And I said as well at the time, we just wanted to leave Bournemouth with something because we looked like we were being like dog walked by Bournemouth when they bullied us for both Tyler Adams and then Luis Sinistera. So we said, okay, well, we need something back. And instead of getting something that we actually needed, like a left back on loan or something, we then get Jane Anthony. I didn't understand that one, and it proved to be the case all season long. But yeah, they've done a really good job at championship level, but we're playing at a different level now. Things get higher. The quality of players should be getting better, and with that comes tougher competition for the players. Whereas if in the championship, if we're going after a certain player and then it's, let's say Sheffield United and Bristol City and Plymouth, they're more than likely going to come to Leeds United, aren't they? In general, we even saw Jaden Bogle say, "No, Sheffield United, I only want the Leeds move. Please make it happen," and we made it happen. It's a different thing now. And just like with the players, just like with the manager, everything has to elevate levels when you're in the Premier League, and that comes up to recruitment as well. So the 49ers at this moment in time, as we sit here on the 15th of July, it's an average job so far, to below average, in my opinion. There needs to be more done, but there's more time to do that. And as I say, it could be a case that Nick Pope comes available. Once James Trafford gets there, Nick Pope is like, I see the competition now. I want first team football. And if we're still the only team in for him, unless somebody else comes in for him, we could have a run at Nick Pope, which again, I'd be delighted with. So there's a long, long way to go in the window, people, but we just need a few more, a few more, not marquee signings, but more first team quality. Because again, it doesn't matter how much they cost. I said to you guys, I would have taken Borna Sosa, who's gone to Palace for £2 million. £2 million. I would have happily taken Borna Sosa, and that uplifts your quality straight away at left back. It's a no-brainer. But so it's not about cost for me, it's the quality of the player. Deshaun saying, I lost faith after the Longstaff bids. I can't even lie. Yeah. It's one of those, though. If he was the only one to come in, then yeah, it's looking a little bit peak. But if he's one and then we get another like a Stack or someone else of that ilk, it'd probably be a little bit easier to swallow overall. But if that's our intention, then there's only one way the season's going. Yeah, we shall see, FC. Yeah, somebody pulled me up on that about I say we shall see a lot, but that's all we can do, isn't it? That's all we can do. Jonathan Wright is saying here, feeling like Oliver Twist right now. More, you want more. Tintin here tell you we're getting the scraps. And again, Tintin, if we come to the end of the window and then that happens, we will judge it in full come the end of the window. But until that transfer window shuts, there's always a chance that you can get an absolutely brilliant deal done. There's always that opportunity. LUFC Passion saying I can see Stark coming in. Yeah, we shall see. But again, it's one of those where we're haggling. It seems that we're trying to haggle the price. Hoffenheim by Bild, who are the biggest publication in Germany, have laid out a 17 million clause, 17 million asking price. If they're not going to budge from that, keep on going from whatever it is, 12, 13, 14, you're going to have to probably meet someone's asking price at some point. I know that we're not trying to do what we did before, and that's overpay for players that we shouldn't have overpaid for. And I put Dan James in that category as well. 25 million was way too inflated for him. But I got it. It's rivalry tax in terms of Man United and Leeds doing business. So I get that. I do think if Leicester had tried to go for him, he would have gone for 15. I've always maintained that stance. But then you got Brendan Aronson for 25, Christensen for over 10. We try not to do that, but you also have to know the market as well. And if you really believe that player can make a difference and you don't think the asking price is too out of sync with what you think, pay the money. Just pay the money. I'm not saying overpay, but sometimes you're going to have to pay an asking price. Lewis C is saying, therapist KG, come in. Let me book my appointments in advance. Yeah, hey, listen, hopefully it goes well, Lewis. Hopefully it goes well. Hold on a minute. Exactly. LUFC passionate. You can't lowball every player. You have to pay decent money to bring in decent players. Absolutely, yeah. And it's not about overpaying, but sometimes you will have to reach an asking price. It would just be like this. If a club comes in for Tanaka, let's just say Tanaka, and we've got an asking price of say 25 million, and a club comes in and bids 20. This football club, as we know under the 49ers, will not accept that. They will not accept just 20. So they also have to understand it from the other club's point of view, where if they've got a valuation because they deem that player to be that valuable to them, you might have to meet them there or at least halfway, like they did with Biol as well, staying on Biol. We got there eventually. It wasn't the deal that Udinese wanted, but with the add-ons and everything, it will equal up to what Udinese wanted. So there are different ways to structure the deal, which hopefully Adam Underwood is learning as we do in the summer, as he's going through the summer, I should say. So yeah. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that I need to cover? I think I've got everything, man. I think I've got everything. Let me do the poll just before we end. Will Leeds United make a signing before Saturday? Yeah, it's 38%. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's 37%. Nope, it's 62%. So not a lot of people hopeful before Saturday, but we will see, man. Gavin here saying looks like JB going on loan for his last year. All right, let me have a look. I mean, it's not really the most breaking news, is it, if JB's to leave, but he's not going to play in the Premier League, is he? He's not. Okay, yeah, could be going on loan. Yeah, JB's one though. I did say that I'd possibly loan him out, extend his deal and loan him out. But if they feel that he's good enough to go on a permanent or not good enough and he goes on a permanent, I'm not going to lose sleep about it. But yeah. And again, that 5 million for JB, that was more of a hit and hope, wasn't it? In terms of we're selling Calvin Phillips for a certain amount. Let's bring back JB in return for this amount because he could become something else. So yeah, just some of the recruitment over the last few years is probably why we're moving in the way we're moving this summer. But yeah, I think that's it, people. I think that is it. Listen, if there's anything else you want to say, put it in the comments after the video's done. But yeah, I think that's it for the latest updates with everything, man. I don't think there's anything else that we need to discuss. So yeah, please, people, like the video before you go. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And of course, drop your comments and everything else below. Yeah, thank you to all members of the channel. And Slim, thank you for becoming a member as well. Forgot to shout you out a few videos ago. I will see you in the next one, people. Peace out.